You gonna water the flowers?
Baby? Mama?
In plants that were in a living space that we resided at. And I think that personally for me, and having experiences with you gardening at your house, where I see us moving towards, where we're moving towards caring about each other and caring about where we live and the community and relationships that we all have amongst each other.
Pattern Literacy, I think, is his website for that. It's got a lot of great art, documents and articles about how indigenous people inhabited places that weren't backwards or simple-minded. They lived in harmony with their planet and didn't see the need to put the whole planet under their lock and key and under their rule. And so they lived in balance with it, and their populations lived in balance with it, and they didn't have the dominator model. And I think that, you know, especially being a market gardener, there's a delicate balance to growing a crop here to sell somewhere else, and thinking like, well, I'm using, you know, my work to create something, you know, or resources and money to buy compost or bring something in, and then selling it off the site. So you're bringing something in and you're making a product, and it really, it's a delicate balance to say, okay, I'm doing that to make a living, and then, oh, I'm gardening because I want to be more human. You know, the market really changes those kind of things, and so it's kind of fun to try to play with how human and natural you can be. And can you be a capitalist in that same regard? And how, where are the...
Natural capitalism.
It's a tricky, it's something I think, like you say, emerging. You know, there's people that have ideas about it, but when you start trying to live it and saying, well, you know, this plant grew in my presence, shouldn't I be eating it instead of this other person? And it's really, you know, especially when it's your yard and not, you know, 40 acres somewhere. It's a different relationship to your natural environment. So.
Yeah, I know I've been at community gardens, and I think for a community garden, having it be someone else's land and you're working on their land is totally different than when you're working on the land that you reside in or you live on. Because you're there, you're present, and you see when the flower is drooping or the plant needs watering, and if it's somewhere else, you just don't see it.
Well, you look at, you know, you think we put our elders in nursing homes. We don't see when they're drooping. We just go when we want to go. And it's like, you know, when we really face the way that we live and be honest about it, it's very mechanistic and it's very technologically advanced, but it's very devoid in feeling and richness in a lot of ways. That I feel that way. You know, you don't have to, or your viewers don't have to feel that way, but it's really, I call it rewilding, or, you know, re-native. You know, I want to become native again too, and it's going to be a long process because it took me a long time to get to where I'm at now, and with the fears and phobias and habits I have now. So it's so that's something to
rewilding, huh?
Rewild, yeah. And there's plenty of people that have already put that out there, and the anarcho-primitivists and the people that say that society is wrong and they're trying to break it down. And you know, I mean, for me, it's a peaceful movement, and it's about my life. You know, I'm not going to take on Walmart. You know, I'm not going to take on, but in a way we all are when we stop needing their products. So.
I know I brought it up. I did a WMNF 88.5 interview with John Butts on the Sustainability Show. And I talked to him about it's not about fighting Walmart, it's about getting away from the need of even needing Walmart. And I got a lot of flack from not even just callers on the radio station, but people afterwards, weeks afterwards, I would find people and they'd come up to me and like, I loved your interview, it was great, except for that Walmart part.
Everybody likes an enemy, huh?
Yeah.
So,
But I guess what I'm getting at is they totally disavowed the understanding that what I was trying to say is we just need to get away from the need of Walmart. Go back to that rewilding part of being a part of this land.
It's something that doesn't seem on the surface to offer much value or money or shiny. He doesn't have shiny LED lights in your
Yeah.
face, or it's not high. It's really high definition. I mean, we can really see each other, but it's not something that I think that our culture is saying much about.
Yeah.
And so it's really grassroots, and it's probably going to be small amounts of really just dedicated people doing it because they want to. So I think, to me, I want to get away from what we're fighting and what we want to create. There's so much energy can be fought.
Yeah.
You can fight Walmart, but you're never going to win.
Yeah, it's about us co-creating this world together.
Yeah, and creating what you want instead of hating what you don't want.
Yeah.
Pretty good at that.
And that's what we're all about. I think everyone that I've met through this journey that I've been on, through working with Co Green community, actually going out and meeting people and saying, hey, I've got an idea. And people grasp that. As soon as you say community, or as soon as you say you want to have a more natural lifestyle, people grasp that, and they want to be a part of that.
Is it something intrinsic, you mean, in the person?
I guess what I'm saying is I think a lot of people are headed towards this way of thought, that they want to really readjust and reassess the way that they're living. So it's always nice to meet new people. And it's always nice to meet people that have different ideas and different perspectives on your own life, what you're doing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, this is Eric Stewart and Adam Fishos here at Co Green Community TV. Cut.